All right, once again, today is Monday, February 22nd, 8G9. I can use formulas to find the volume of cylinders, cones, and spheres. What did it tell us we're using? Formulas. So that means if I don't get nothing else, we are getting these formulas. I will suggest you write them down to keep us from flopping between screens. All right, volume is the amount of space of a 3D object. The volume of a rectangular prism. That's one that you've been looking at for years. Length, time, width, time, height. However, these are the three we're going to focus on. You may want to label it. Volume of a cylinder, that's where we take the area of the base times the height. All the bases is a circle, so that'll be pi times r squared, and then we will multiply that by the height. Volume of a cone is very similar. You can use two equations, either or. I'm going to take 1/3 and multiply it by pi r squared times the height. Or in other words, I'm going to do pi r squared times the height and divide it by 3. Remember that 1/3 and 3 is pretty much the same, just reverse. And then, of course, the volume of a sphere is 4/3 times pi r cubed. So when I get those three formulas down real quick, make sure you label it and say which it is. It's for the sphere. So that if we get to working, we won't have to question which one is for. You will not have to remember them on state test. You will have a formula sheet.
So we just write with circle.
Oh. And put the label with it. Like the first one is for a cylinder, you need to know that's the formula for a cylinder. The second one for a cone, and then the third one for a sphere.
Okay.
The rest of it pretty much breaking it apart, showing you how that formula came to be. Everybody got what you need? 5 minutes? Can you believe that? That's why I said using class, you can log into the Zoom, and guess what? Because you said get that down, I would just took a snip, have my snip in one screen as I'm working the problems. That way, my formula right there with you. Somebody said the other day, that's cheating. I said, yeah, technology is pretty much helping you cheat, and y'all still can't get your work done. You got it now, man? All right. So pretty much only 3 steps. First, identify the shape. Ask myself, did they give me a cone, a cylinder, or a sphere? Identify what is known, meaning what parts of that formula did they give me? And then finally use that formula to solve. Your practice is in its typical place, Schoology. Except now it's in the folder February 22nd through 26th. It says Monday, February 22nd practice. It is a PDF. I believe it's going to tell you to open up with Cannon. You too, without your Chrome, you may want to write on a piece of paper, and that way later you can take a picture of it, send it to your email, and then upload that into your assignment. Everybody made to your practice? We there? All right. Number 1, the cone and cylinder at the right have the same radius and the same height. They said find and compare the volumes. And then they said write the volume in terms of X. First thing said find and compare the volumes. All right, so our first shape is a cone. So y'all know me. Go and get my formula. Schoology in the folder, February the 22nd through 26th. And it should say Monday.
Wait, so, I got a question. With them numbers, what we replace? You know, you gotta fill in, like for your phone, you gotta fill in the numbers.
Yeah.
It's going like H. Oh, I need to work that in.
We can do that. All right, so one day giveaway, your radius is always on the circle.
Oh, okay.
So the radius will be what?
2.
Good. So I'm just substitute that in. So now that'll be 2 squared. What's the height? Good. Again, I'm multiplying that by 1/3. What's 2 squared? 4. Good. So now I have pi times 4 times 6. What's 4 times 6? Good job. So now I have pi times 24 times 1/3. So what's 24 divided by 3?
8.
So now I have 8 pi. Somebody multiply that out. 8 pi. And the school calculators do have pi. You just have to hit 8 times pi and then hit equal. And it'll tell you what you need. Yeah, go ahead. I always at least try to put 2 because it's not exact. And the closer, the more numbers you have, the closer you'll be to your answer. Did you hit 8 times and you see that little pi symbol right below second? The second button below second? Yeah, it looked like an N. Did you hit that and then hit enter?
Oh.
You got 25 point.
Yeah,
I just got the first answer got 3.
It gave you 3.14, showing you that after you hit that button pi, it was showing you that pi is 3.14, making sure that you multiply by the right thing. All right, good. So now I'm looking at, what's that, a cylinder?
Yeah.
So that's the one pi r squared times the height. All right, what's our radius?
The 2 cylinders.
And then the height? 6. All right, look like we had that part over there. 2 squared was 4. 4 times 6, we had pi. So now we have pi times 24.
Oh.
75.36.
All right, so that problem says find and compare the volume. So we found the volume. How can we compare them? Which one is larger? What's 25? What can I multiply by to get 3? How many times larger is it? Like, compare. What do you know about 25 and 75?
That 75 is good.
How many times, right?
50.
Oh.
I subtracted.
Right.
Quarters.
Oh.
75 and 25. How many quarters did I go from? You were right
3.
there. So then I would say the cylinder is 3 times larger than the cone. And then I can say because 75 is greater than 25. All right. The last part of that question says, write the volume in terms of pi. Anybody know what that means? All right, when they say write it in terms of pi, that means leave pi alone. Don't try to put it in the calculator and see what it's gonna give you. So if we go back to these problems, looking at that cone, our last place where we had pi was 8 pi. Y'all remember that at the bottom before we multiply? So when they say leave it in terms of pi, that's what I would have, 8 pi. And then for the cylinder, what do we have? 24 pi. So then I would say, in terms of pi, the cone is 8 pi. You can write out pi because I don't think it has the symbol. Or you can give me a little n, I guess I kind of know what you mean. So I'm just putting in parentheses 8 pi. And the cylinder is 24 pi. Any questions about that? So if they ask us to give it in terms of pi, they just don't want you to multiply it by pi. Anybody else still need that? All right, problem number 2 says the cylinder shown has a volume of 30 cubic units. It says the cone and cylinder have the same height and the same base. What is the volume of the cone? So let's see. They started with the cylinder. They told us what the volume is, and they told us we got the same height and the same base. So if I look at that base, that in other words be the diameter. So make sure we remember all the way across is the diameter. So I'm going to start with cylinder. I'm going to find my formula. V equals pi r squared times the height. They told me the volume was 30. We got pi. Do we know what the radius is right now? I'm going to put r squared. And then we got height. All right, I got it. All right, now before we move on, let's think about this piece that says r. So this is the diameter. So if the height and the diameter is the same, how can I get that radius?
What was the question? Oh, right.
If the height and the diameter is the same, how can we get this radius? All right, think about earlier. What do we say the radius is to the diameter? Split. So if my height and my diameter are the same, my radius is now the height divided by 2, right? Because we had split. So now I'm gonna just rewrite that radius to that. So we have 30 equals to pi times that height divided by 2 times the height. Y'all with us? All right, looking at that, what do you notice? Can I write that second h as a fraction?
Wait, yeah.
Put it over what? I can write any number as a fraction by putting the number over what? 2. Not 2. Over 1. So now let's look at what we have. H times h and 2 times 1. What's h times h? How many h's do we now have? H squared. So now we have H squared divided by 2 times pi. All right, we still got to get H by itself. So now what step can we take? Think about H. If I'm trying to get H by itself, what instantly sticks out? What are you divided by? I won't say 2, but what is that H divided by 2 being multiplied by? So we're going to divide both sides by pi. Y'all know how to do square root in calculator?
And it's that thing with the edge beside it.
Yep, right there by division. So you'll put your number in 30. No, that's square root. We don't need square root. We divide by pi. Just hit 30, divide into pi, and then hit enter. All right, 9.54. All right, we still ain't got H by itself because man ain't got that square beside it. How do I get rid of a square? Not
Good
multiply,
afternoon,
but
staff
take
and students. The time is 12:57. If you are not holding a class at this time, please make your way to duty.
square.
Staff members that are not
It's
holding
only
a
another
class,
word
please
that
make
has
your
square
way to
dealing with
duty.
math.
We are getting ready to dismiss car riders. Ms. Easterlin is probably in the hallway collecting students now.
That's your square root.
We'll go ahead with K1, car riders. Come on now,
So square root
K1,
of
car riders.
9.4.
Let's release those
9.54,
students.
rather.
Let's go ahead and throw in second grade. K2 car riders are dismissed. K2 car riders are dismissed.
All right, 3.08 is equal to height of H divided by 2. So now how can I get that height by itself?
Mr. Young will come by the high school. I have
Wait
a
a
phone
minute.
and ask
What's the
if
inverse?
the student is on Mr. Young bus, he will stop by the elementary
What's the
school.
inverse of the
So
division?
we will have to hold that student.
Okay. You go back to fifth grade. Good job.
Xaviana Payton, if anyone has the Xaviana Payton or the Zedric Payton, please call the front office. We need that bus number for the sister. The Xaviana Payton or the Zedric Payton. If you have one of those students, please contact the front office.
6.16.
Morning.
Good job. So the height is 6.16, which is also the what?
Ms. Hope, please report to car rider. Ms.
So in
Hope
order to
Williams,
get that
Ms. Hope
radius,
Walker,
don't
please
forget,
report to
you
car
need
rider.
to divide
Thank
by
you.
2.
K2 car
So
riders
now
are
they
dismissed.
asking us about that cone. Once again, I always start with your formula. Pi r squared times the height, and then we're gonna divide it by 3. All right, we got pi. What did we say our radius is? 2. Not 2. Take that height and divide it by 2. What did we say the height was? Divided by 2? All right, so now we got pi times 3.08 squared times the height. What's the height? Good job. All right, somebody do 3.08 squared. You got this square button on your calculator in the middle. Or just multiply 9.4864, somebody said. All right, multiply that by 6.16. 58.4 multiplied by pi.
$183.46.
Go with that
Third
over
grade car
5.
riders are dismissed.
Divided by
K3
3.
car riders should be on their way down. K3 car riders, you should be on your way to car rider zone. Staff members that are not holding the class, please make sure you are out on duty at this time. Thank you.
You said 61.19? Any questions about it? So it's pretty much using what we know. I'm gonna stick with that formula, substitute in what I know, and work backwards. If they give me two together, pay attention to which is which, or pay attention to exactly what they mean. Will it be diameter or the radius?
That was 61.15.
Okay, you could keep the 15. And that's what I was telling some earlier. Depending on where we stop our rounding in, that'll depends on what value you get. Hello? A telephone number? Okay. Mm-hmm.
Sixth grade car riders are dismissed. Sixth grade car riders, 4, 5 car riders are dismissed. Sixth grade, 4, 5, 6 car riders are dismissed at this time.
All right, I got it.
I want to record.
Okay. Y'all be in class before buses. I be trying to get us in as best as we can. All right, it says the cylinder has a height of 8 inches and a diameter of 3 inches. What's the volume of the cylinder in cubic inches? All right, I'm gonna get my formula. Cylinder. Pi times the height. All right, what's the radius? All right, that goes to show. What's the diameter to the radius?
3.
All right, so if all of it is 3, all right, somebody said half. So what's 3 halves?
7A car riders are dismissed. 7A car riders are dismissed. All car riders should be dismissed at this time. That's all KA car riders. Students, thank you for coming on today. We will see you on tomorrow. I think we had an awesome day today. Now that's from Miss Stewart's perspective. Every time I came around, you were listening to teachers, participating. I saw pencils moving. We only had to correct 1 or 2 things today, but they were minor issues. Just students, remember you don't do that on tomorrow.
Good job.
But for the most part, I think we had an awesome day. Thank you for being awesome students, and we'll see you on tomorrow.
So now just substitute that into the equation.
I need Riley Thompson and Kylie Powell to car rider. Riley Thompson and Kaylee Powell to car rider. Thank you.
2.25. So that was 1.5 squared. All right, 2.25, and then multiply that by 3. Multiply that by pi.
It's 6.75.
All right, multiply that by pi.
21.195.
You said 12.
21.
Point.
195.
Oh, but go back. They told us to write our answers in terms of what? Y'all gotta pay attention to that. So before we multiplied to get 21.5, we had 6.75 pi. So that'll pretty much be that. So make sure we pay attention to if they want us to keep pi or if they want us to multiply it on that. All right, you got it, Mike? You got it, Mark? You ready, set it? All right, number 4 says consider the cylinder. They gave us S choice. They want to know which one is true. Choose all that apply. The first one says if the radius is 7 feet, then the volume is 588 pi. Let's see. So my formula pi r squared times the height. What's the radius? They gave us 7, and then the height is 12. What's 7 squared?
49.
49.
49 times 12.
588.
That's the same thing they had. Yes. So A will work. Let's try B. B said the volume is 192 pi, then the radius is 2 feet. Well, let's check. Once again, I'm going to throw with my formula. They now gave me the volume that said 192 pi. Which is the same on both sides.
We have 2 bus changes. Coach Newsome students will ride 842 on today. Coach Newsome students will ride 842 on today. Students that ride Ms. Lana 845 will need to get on 8-13. Students that ride 8-45, Ms. Lana bus will need to get on 8-13. 819 will ride 842. 845 will ride 813. Thank you. Okay, and Ms.
What's the
Monica,
same on both sides?
842, we need to get on 830. Teachers, this is inside of WhatsApp. 819, 840, we'll get on 842, 845, we'll get on 813, and 842, we'll get on 830.
What's the same on both sides? Or the equal sign? I got 192 pi is equal to pi r squared height. What's the same on both sides? 192 pi is equal to pi r squared height. Thank you. So that means it's going to get rid of each other on both sides. So now I have 192 is equal to r squared and the height is 12. How can I get that radius by itself? What's being done with that radius? They multiplied it, so what's the inverse? So divide both sides by 12.
$16.
All right. How do we get r by itself? Right now, it's a square. All right, that's where we take that square root. And what's the square root of 16?
256.
Don't square root. All right, and they gave us 2, so that wouldn't work. All right, let's try C. C said the volume is 768 pi. So once again, start with that formula. The height is still 12. All right, once again, what's the same on both sides? Good. So now we have 768 is equal to r squared times 12.
If we still divide pi by 8, and I just don't see you put a dot. And I don't know. Well, I'll put it on. Like,
Yeah, you can put that. Okay. Now I didn't put the dot because they all variables, and I kind of know that means more.
I need Braden Stiff and Tyler Taylor to Colorado. Braden
Or you see
Stiff
that I got
and Tyler
those
Taylor
spreadsheets,
to
that's
Colorado.
another indication of multiplication. But you can write it however you see fit so that you can remind yourself you multiply. All right, so we're gonna repeat that same step from over here. Divide both sides by 12. 64, what's the square root of it? 8, all right. But they told us the diameter would be 16. What's the radius to the diameter? Which one was half or the other? So if we got the radius of 8, and I'm trying to get to that diameter, what'll be the diameter? Or what's 8 plus 8? And that is what they gave us. The last choice said the diameter of the cylinder is 5 feet, and they want us to figure out their volume or to check their volume. As always, so my formula. So if the diameter is 5, what's the radius? What's half of 5? 2.50. Could I take it? All right, their height is still 12. Somebody square 2.5. Or multiply by 6. All right, multiply that by 12.
I need Jacob Newsom, the car
25.
rider. Kindergarten and first grade bus
85.
riders, you are
They had
dismissed.
to
K1 bus
react.
riders, you are dismissed. We are still holding on about 3 buses.
Any
We are
questions
still
about it?
holding on 3 buses. K1 bus riders, you are dismissed. Jacob Newsom to car
So
rider.
main thing to remember, I always start with that formula. I'm gonna ask myself what's my shape, get my formula, then I'm gonna substitute in what I have.
Y'all got 6.25 by multiplying 2.5 times 2 to the 2. 2.5 times 2.5.
So they gave us the diameter and we needed the radius for that formula. Good question. Any other questions about it?
Like, how many feet?
A and C, it was a 2-part question. Choose out. By now, everybody should know how to type all on them documents. You should know how to draw on them, one and the other. You should know I don't look at answers. Some of y'all still want to give me an answer. All right, that was question 4. You got it, Mike? You got it, Mark? All right, so that means you battle on your own with the rest. As always, even if I never make it through the rest, submit what you have to at least get a grade on something. All right, those of you at home, I will see you later. Hey, Camille, bye, Camille.